guys, welcome to all of you. I am Professor Bhumi Patel from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today we learn the same topic, same unit, that is user-defined function, and the topic is recursion. Inside recursion, one function is there, that is Ackermann function. Today we discuss about this topic, Ackermann functions. Now what is first the theory for this function? As per the name of author, the function name is A, and inside that function there are two arguments m and n. Depends on the value of m and n, the answer is, the output is changed. Now this is the theory for Ackermann function. This is already proved. We have only the find the use of recursion in this theory. So first, when we are passing m as 0, when our value m is 0, then the output is n plus 1. This is already proved. If the second argument, that is n is 0, then the function is again called. That means here the recursion concept is there. Inside function Ackermann, when n is 0, we again call the same function with m minus 1 and 1. So this is the concept of recursion where we use the Ackermann function. Now the third value is what? If we have passed m greater than 0 and n greater than 0, means both of them not 0. When m is not 0, n is not 0, then goes on the third part, that is third condition, where again we are using the recursion concept, where function call itself, a function call itself. Here inside Ackermann, now again function is called with argument m minus 1, comma, again call the function m n minus 1. This is already proved. We have to use only this formula in our program. So how we are writing this program for Ackermann function? So this is the concept of recursion. So whenever we are making program using recursion, then we have to use the fourth category, that is with argument and with return value. So start with first integer with return. The name of function, that is A, according to the name of theory, that is Ackermann. And we have to pass two arguments m and n. So here we are writing integer m, integer n. This is what function declaration. After declaration, we are writing void main. Inside void main, what we are writing? Function call. But here we are passing argument. So the printf and scanf is inside void main. So writing 2 m and n. The value returned by the function is integer, that is stored in a variable t. Next is clear screen. Then printf enter m n. We have to pass two value m and n. Now scanf %d %d, end of m, end of n. Now what we have to write? Function call. We have to call function A with two arguments m and n, and the value returned by the function is stored in a variable t, and that value we are printed. So here we are writing printf %d, t, and get ch. Now after function call, what we have to write here? Function definition. So first copy this line, integer A, integer m, integer n. No semicolon. Semicolon is only for a declaration. Here we have to write start and stop bracket. Inside this start and stop bracket, we have to write the logic, and that is our condition. Clear? If m is 0, then the output is n plus 1. So here the condition is what? If m equal 0, then this function return answer, that is n plus 1. It returns integer value, that is n plus 1. The second condition is for n equals 0. So here again use else if. If n equals 0, then the answer is what? Return, the formula is a m minus 1, 1. So here we have to return m minus 1 and 1. This part is completed. Now the third, that is m greater than 0, n greater than 0. So if m is not 0, n is not 0, then go on a else part and it return Accursman m minus 1. Then again call the function a with m n minus 1. This is the formula which we are using in our program. Now return how the program is executed. Suppose the output is what? Suppose enter m comma n, and I enter m equals 0 and n is suppose 1. Enter m and n. M is 0 and n is 1. Then what happened? M n, the value is passed. Here m is 0, n is 1. 0 and 1. Now m is 0. Yes, the condition is true. Then it returns the answer n plus 1. Now n is 1. 1 plus 1. So our answer is 2. Clear? But suppose here we input 0, 1. No. Instead of 0, 1 we are passed 1 and 0. That is m is 1, n is 0. Then what happened? M is 1, n is 0. Then n is 0, no, it is 1. So goes on a second condition, that is else if. N is 0, yes. Then it returns what? Function call itself. Function call itself. So the meaning of this is what? M minus 1. M is what? 1. So 1 minus 1, that is 0 and 1. So this is what function call itself. Inside Accursman function, we call the Accursman. That means jumps onto function definition again. Now on this A01, now m is 0. Here m is what? 0 and n is 1 again. Now when m equals 0, it returns n plus 1. Now n is 1. 1 plus 1. So the answer of this function is what? 2. And 2 value will be returned in a t. And that value will be printed here. So if you are inputting 0, 1 or 1, 0, the answer becomes 2. This is nothing but the Accursman function. Now next topic is quickshort. Let us start with the second topic of recursion, that is quickshort. There are so many different sorting methods available. First one is quickshort, and in the next session we discuss the another method, that is merge sort. We already done one sorting method in an array chapter, that is bubble sort. Clear? So let us start with quickshort method. The theory is for a sorting of array elements. So whenever you are using quickshort method, first you have to remember some steps how to sort the array elements using this method. So the first, list out the steps, remember that steps, and then solves the problem. So for that quickshort, one function is created and the name of function is quickshort. Inside this function we have passed 3 arguments, a, l and h. Now what is these 3 argument first? A is nothing but the name of array. It is what? Name of array. L means lower limit. L means lower limit and h means higher limit. Now A is what? Array. So for an array, the lower limit and higher limit is what? So if you are created array with n equals 4, so the number of elements in an array A is how many? 4. And array index is always start with 0, then 1, then 2 and 3. Total number of elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. Clear? This is the concept of array. So for an array, the name A, the lower limit is always 0. The array index always start with 0, and that is our lower limit. And the higher limit is what? The higher limit is always n minus 1. Here n is 4, so the higher limit is 3. If n is 5, then higher limit is 4. So higher limit is always n minus 1 for the array concept. Now remember the steps. How it is? How it is solved using quicksort. Now the first step is declare one variable I, j and key. If I is nothing but lower limit, so it is always 0. J means upper limit, that is higher limit, it is always n minus 1. And key is nothing but a of 0, that is first element is a of 0, and that is our key. Clear? Now after declaring this variable, the next step is, this is first step. Second step is I equals I plus 1. Third step is repeat while a of I less than key. If a of I is less than key, then you have to increment I. Fourth step is repeat while a of j greater than key, then j minus minus. Fifth step is if I less than j, if I less than j, then swap a of I with a of j, else swap key with a of j. And sixth step is quicksort a, j and j minus 1, and again quicksort a, j plus 1 and minus 1. So the quicksort is a concept of recursion first. How? Because in a quicksort, in this function, we have to execute these steps, and the last step is nothing but the function call itself. Here first we are call with 3 arguments a, l, h, that is a, 0 and minus 1. Now whenever we are executing these steps, the last step is again quicksort, means function call itself, and we have to process same thing with a, 0, j minus 1. And after completing this portion, we have to again use the concept of recursion for the same quicksort with a, j plus 1 and minus 1. Clear? So this is the concept of quicksort, how to perform. Now according to these steps, we are solving one problem. Let us start with that problem. Example 42, then 23, 74, 11, 60, 23, 74, 11, 65, then 58, 94, 36, 99, 87. This problem is asked in a GTU. We are writing the same data. This data is given in an exam. You have to apply the quicksort method on that data according to these steps. So first we are arranging this data in an array. First arrange the data in an array. The array index always start with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Total n equals how many? 10. Number of elements in an array is 10. So the index start with 0 up to 9. Now start with this. Here we start the quicksort algorithm, that is a array, lower limit is always 0 and upper limit is always n minus 1. N is 10, so the lower higher limit is 9. Now start with these steps. I is always on index 0. So here is my I at 0 position. j is n minus 1. N is 10. So j is on a n minus 1, that is on a last position, n minus 1. Third is key. Key equals a of 0. A of 0, that is first element, is nothing but our key. Initialize 3 value. I is always on index starting, j is on a last position, and key is a first element. Now, second step, I equal plus. So I is incremented by 1. From the 0, it is now 0 plus 1, that is 1. Now third step, while a of I less than key, we have to increment I 1 by 1 until I is less than, a of I is less than key. Now a of I, that is 23. 23 is less than key. Our condition, a of I less than key. Here we are using this condition first, a of I less than key. So here a of I is on a position 1. So a of 1. And a of 1 is nothing but the 23. 23 less than key is 42. The condition is true? Yes. If the condition is true, then I is incremented. So I becomes 2. Now I is cancelled here and I incremented with 2. This process is continue until a of I less than key, because here the loop, while loop. So again check for a second parameter, that is a of 2. 74 is less than 42. This condition is true? No, it is wrong. So this condition is false. Now stop. Now go on a fourth step. Here the condition is different. That is a of j. This is my third step. This is fourth step. That is what? A of j greater than key. Now we have to check this. Now j is on a which position? A of 9. So a of 9 greater than key is nothing but the first element 42. So a of 9, that is my 87. 87 is greater than 42? Yes. If the condition is true, then j is decremented. So j becomes 8. Here j is on a 9 position, so it becomes 8. So j is decremented on a 8 position. Again this is loop. So continue this process until our condition is true. Now check for this. 9. So 99 is greater than 42? Yes. Then j is decremented on a 7th number position. Now on a 7th number position, 36 is greater than 42? No, the condition becomes false. When the condition becomes false, now stop that and jump onto the 5 number. So start with 5th position. If I is less than j. Now I less than j. I is on a which position here? I is on a 2nd position and j is on a 7th position. So 2 is less than 7, condition is true. Means this condition is true. Then swap a of I j with j. So a of I, that is this, and a of j, that is this. Both are swap. So here the swapping is done 36 and here the swapping is 74. Both are interchanged because this condition is true. When this condition is true, now goes on a second part and execute 2, 3, 4 again. If you are goes on a else part, then jump onto directly 6th step. But here the condition is true? Yes. Then go on a second part, and second part is nothing but I equals I plus 1. So I is incremented here on a 3rd position. Now the 3rd step again. The 3rd step is what? Our condition this. Now a of I is less than key. A of I is less than key. In a of I, that is 11. 11 is less than key, that is 42. Yes. If the condition is true, then I is incremented. So I is jump onto the 4th number position. That means I becomes 4. Again repeat this process. This is again loop. Now 65. 65 is less than 42? No. Condition is false. Then stop. Jump onto the 4th step. 4th step is this. A of j is greater than key. Here. So j is on which position? This. 74 now. Not 36. Now it is changed. 74 is greater than key that is our 42. Condition is true. When the condition is true, j is decremented. So j is becomes 6. J becomes 6. Again check this condition. Now 94 is greater than 42. Yes, j decrement with 5. So j is here. Now 58 greater than 42. Yes, j becomes 4. Now 65. Next is what? 65 is greater than 42. Yes. Then j is again decremented with third position. Now on third position, what is 11? 11 is greater than 42? No. Now it becomes false. So goes out from fourth loop. Start with fifth step. Here the condition is if I is less than j. Again check this condition. I less than j. I is on a number 4. I is on a number 4 and j is on a number 3. So 4 is less than 3. This condition is false. When this condition false, goes on a else part and swap key and a of j. Key that is 42 and a of j that is 11. These two are now interchanged. Key and a of j. These two are now interchanged. So the final answer is what? The final answer is what? 11 is here. So 11, then 23 as it is, then 36, then instead of 11 now 42, then 65, 58, 94, 74, 99 and 87. So first answer is getting, and that is 42. The first element, that is key 42, is placed in that proper position. How it is true? How we are getting this answer is true? In a left side of 42, all the elements are smaller to 42, and on a right side of 42, all the elements are greater than 42. 65, 48, this. So according to that checking, left and right hand side both on a key, if we are getting proper answer, that means our answer is true. The first pass is completed. This is known as pass 1. The first element is placed in that position. Now we have to arrange for a two different part. That is our 6 steps. That is our 6th step. So the 6th step is what? After applying this logic, we are getting this answer, and this answer is divided in a two part, first and second. So the 6th step is what? Quick sort A 0 j minus 1 and quick sort A j plus 1 n minus 1. So two answer will be there. In a quick sort, A as it is, 0 as it is. Now j minus 1. So j is on a position 3. So j minus 1, that is 2. The first part is 0, 1, 2. That is our first part. That is 11, 23, 36. This array is now divided in a two part. First part, that is this. And second part is quick sort A as it is, j plus 1. J is on a third position. So j plus 1, that is 4. N minus 1, that is, n is 10. So n minus 1, that is 9. So in array, this is third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 to 9, this portion is nothing but the second part. And that is 65, 58, 94, 74, 99 and 87. Clear? So the same process that we are applying on a one array will be applied on a second part and a third part. This process is continue until all the elements are sorted. Here only the one element is sorted, that is 42. The same process is applied for 11, 23, 36 and for a second part. After completing each and every elements, the final answer becomes the sorted array. Clear? If you have any query regarding this quick sort method, then you are feel free to contact me. Thank you so much.